This is a Nekko Media podcast.
What's your pleasure, sir?
Welcome, cinephiles and Cenobites, to a new Cinebite, number 33. I'm your host, Annika P., the bringer of chains, eggnogaholic, yada yada yada. Today, the boys Mox and Ono be taking the algorithm of John and Rachel's Don't Go Down That Road, the secret sauce, so to speak, and making it their own. They did two movies, The Devil's Candy and The Black Room. Two flicks worthy of your time. Well, listen to what they have to say on this arrangement of John and Rachel's Don't Go Down That Road. Schrody's Ladder.
Don't go down that road. Horror movie podcast. John and Rachel. Horror movie podcast. Don't go down that road. Horror movie podcast.
John and Rachel, a horror movie podcast. And don't you forget it.
Don't go down that road.
All right, welcome to the Schrody's Ladder
Of Don't Go Down That Road.
style. We're stealing this from John and Rachel without their permission. But we tag
I
them.
think they'd gladly.
So today's episode,
We have one awesome movie and one super horrible fucking movie that we basically picked out of a hat.
yes, they're similar according to Netflix.
Yeah, but that algorithm is fucking gonk as fuck.
So we're gonna take 2016's The Black Room and 2017's The Devil's it's
Actually,
just
it's 15.
Devil's Candy.
Yeah, try look. I think it's tagged as 15.
Yeah. So, because then it originally
I
made
feel
like
like-
the streaming
Yeah.
outlets, and then it was available for purchase, and then Netflix picked it up.
Yep.
As a independent release, not a Netflix original.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they only do that with fucking Canadian shits. They slap their name on it.
So we're gonna go talk about The Black Room first.
First, yes. Or as I like to call it, that piece of shit rape movie.
Oh, this movie was just
So rapey. On every level of rape that you can think of. The eyes were raped. The sensibilities were raped. Your time was raped. People in the movie were raped. And it's about an incubus.
an incubus, like certain shade of green.
Is that what you think of when you think of incubus? I think, meet me in outer space.
Well, they got two different albums. Yes.
I'm talking about the good one, Make
good one?
Yourself.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Science.
I will hold you.
Oh, the one with only one good song on it?
close.
Yeah.
No, there was Pardon Me, there was Drive.
Ooh, Incubus fan.
Then, I mean, were you not? I mean, you're only like
Just
2
a-
years younger, but
A
come on.
couple. I didn't really get into that.
Animal.
My roommate was. He was more. He introduced me to Chevelle.
Oh, the fake
and-
Deftones.
Or they compared them to Tool because of
No,
their vocals.
no.
Yeah.
Sounds nothing like Maynard. And also, it's pussier than Deftones and not as clever as Tool.
I consider them though really awesome musicians. Very-
Chevelle?
Yeah, Chevelle.
Ugh.
Well, if you compare their live album,
Uh-huh.
to,
I don't know
like,
if I've
their-
heard any live albums, just all studio, because I don't want to hear more of them because
well,
they're
their
basic.
their music is simple, but it's very catchy and
Exactly.
heavy.
That's why they rely on it. Like, how can the comparison to Tool be drawn?
well, the vocals.
There's like
That's why.
no fucking hooks in any of Tool's music.
No,
until the
it's.
latter points.
I think it's just the vocals that very
Kind of, but then you can add anybody in that too, like Breaking Benjamin and ugh.
But their live album sounded exactly like their studio album. Like they were like on like tight to the
like
T.
they can play how they record.
Yes.
That's dope too.
Yeah, I mean that just shows great musicianship. Like,
Well,
and because then as studio musicians, that's different, right? Playing to a click, just playing very consistently. and over.
Well, I feel
and
that's
over.
what you're talking about, right? Consistent. See, right?
Consistent.
They sounded like the record, right?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, and the record showed that not too many special effects. What you hear is what you get.
And I like that.
Yeah,
It's earnest. I mean, okay, I got Chevelle on my iPod and iPlaylist and all of that bullshit, but I wouldn't dare to put them in the room with Tool. I was even kind of iffy to put them as, the Shetty Man's Deftones.
The musicianship is different. They're they're more like when you listen to
melancholy.
Tool.
They're melancholy hard.
I see. Okay, but back to the Black Room.
If anyone's wondering why we just took that 10-minute detour, it's because the Black Room sucks so badly. We'd rather hear you listen to us talk about Tool.
Okay, so let's get into Black Room. So
and then we'll
starts.
Get Out. Yeah.
We are introduced to the house.
Yeah.
And Lin Shaye's in there.
It eats her granddaughter.
Yeah, and so
who appears at a supermarket later or something.
But
open market, farmer's market.
Like, it's like very poltergeisty.
If there was a rape, yeah.
Oh, and that movie, the Connecticut Haunting.
Yeah.
Like
much better movie. Yeah.
A demon is like pretty much groping granddaughter.
Well, then we find out what.
And it's
the
a close up.
Group, right?
Like we get so many like titty twisters, like literally, like areola.
It is just all about the bullshit sex and.
And
nudity.
she later gets groped, like full on by the devil hands coming out through the wall, and like it looks like she's enjoying it, because I guess essentially they all are. Like they're kind of like consumed in that lust.
But I feel that makes a dangerous statement that women enjoy rape, and audiences enjoy rape, because there is no seduction.
Don't go down that road.
There is no seduction.
Do not
to
go
the
down
viewers
there.
And to the women being treated, like it's it's fucking terrible.
And okay, so after she gets sucked into hell, I'm guessing
the hell door, whatever, the door to the incubus room.
She steals that plate.
Yeah,
that the grandma Lin Shaye had.
Fake ass Dreamcatcher reflector plate. Like, all right,
the eye of
like
plate.
a hubcap. Yeah,
and she gets spit out, and then she puts the plate on the door.
Goo, yeah, and that holds them back for now.
Yeah,
and then the house can just automatically get resold.
Well, yeah, she burns up in the basement, right? Then what happened to the grandma, Lin Shaye?
She got sucked into the netherworld to be a slave of the incubus.
Okay, so 2 years later, the house is sold. Oh, and by law, I have to tell you, no, that's Devil's Candy.
Yeah. But it is by law in most states
that they have to mention
they
that
have
someone
to disclose.
But they don't. So like, Natasha Henstridge and
fake ass Hercules from the 90s.
Lucas Hassel, Paul.
Yeah, he's horrible.
They get into the house and he wants to get it on. He wants to Marvin Gaye it up right then.
Marvin rape it up, but yeah.
And she's like,
there is
hold
no
on.
sexiness in this at all.
But there's a lot of solo time.
Celebratory, yeah.
Because later, the electric guy gets consumed by the devil.
Yeah, and the gas guy, and like I feel like the pool guy, and like any random service person that's dispatched to the house can and does get eaten or fucked to death or whatever, consumed.
So later that night, the first night in the house, they both get visited by
separately.
A demon
He's in the bed and she's in the tub.
Yeah, they kind of reenact that Ghostbusters scene where Ray gets.
But sheddily, yeah.
And he thinks it's his wife, Natasha, but she's like, no, I thought you wanted to get it on, and she's like, I'm out of fuel.
She's in the tub, so I feel like she could have seen that that's not her husband, and he's just getting it under the blankets, and I feel like he could have seen that that's not.
Yeah. Well, he assumed that was her, but oh well. Sorry about that, Paul. So the next day, her little sister comes by.
Yeah, the shittiest actress of ever.
Do you know who that is?
No. Really? I don't want to. She's terrible, and I don't want to see her in the movie again.
Oh, but the husband Paul later gets
possessed or taken over by
and so
the incubus.
Is he dead already then, or does he come back?
He comes back.
Oh, okay. So the demon is pretty much taking over, talking on behalf of
Yeah,
him.
and he's just doing this rude ass fucking
Daniel Stern
sexual,
from
yeah,
Deep Star, Leviathan.
yeah, and then some, and he's striking out like.
Oh yeah.
Until he uses his powers to like finger her
And
and stuff,
no,
like,
yeah, the way they
make
do
the
it,
titties on the back, like ugh.
He uses his teacup.
Yeah. Which could have actually, that device could have worked to be kind of sensual and erotic, but the way that it is filmed,
it was just kind of
really
just like,
rapey. It's really rapey.
Yeah, well, not distasteful, but it's more just
Not
cheese.
distasteful,
It's
just
very,
cheesy. Very,
very-
it's heavy cheese.
yeah, heavy
when
cheese.
you can see that the device could have worked had it been used.
Yeah,
more
if Al
skillfully.
Pacino was in there from End of.
Well, I feel like it's
End of
not
Days,
only the actor's fault, but yeah, it is definitely the filming.
because the way he
Even
came out,
even End of Days had more of a seduction going on than this movie.
the way remember in the restaurant, he totally grabs her.
And then the song too that plays over is like, oh God, oh God, it's Limp
Yeah.
Bizkit, do 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 do, and to make Limp Bizkit seductive, that's a skill.
So in that restaurant scene, he talks about the history of the house.
Yeah, and how seductive and all of this, like,
And that was the grandma, right?
Yeah,
that was Lin
yeah.
Shay. Damn, yeah, she got.
And then
taken
that
over.
flashback scene that took too long. There's way too much raping and like, okay, you're a demon,
Yeah.
you pop out of a hole, and then you just break people's necks.
Right.
I was ready for some ripping up, consuming, like,
Oh, and they're in the restaurant. He's telling the story.
yeah, just like casually.
This was like dinner time.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Like, here's
And then
your
he was
lasagna.
making a big thing like, I don't want to wait, and also it makes me
yeah,
think like,
Okay.
why the fuck they gotta wait so long? Every fucking table is empty.
Right.
I might have thrown a little, a little attitude too, like, all right.
Oh yeah, in the beginning, he
Yeah.
was laying out. I want a table.
Yeah, I want
now.
a table now, and they're like, "Sir, we got to do all this and that." I'm like, "Why the fuck I cannot sit at a table while you guys prep whatever the fuck you lazy fucks doing?"
I don't know how they do it. That was supposed to be what's that? Like Eastern style.
It's something Mediterranean, like a la Wishmaster.
Oh,
I
okay.
feel, even Wishmaster. But so yeah, it just after that it devolves into a rapey oblivion. The sister gets caught up in it. The friend and his wife gets caught up into it.
Right.
And then it just ends. They beat the monster.
Did that plate come back?
Yes,
Oh, they find it under the washer.
they do.
Well, that scene
And-
with her doing the washer, and that electric guy. Well, and then they laid it on pretty thick when that
They did.
the washer blew up in her face. Oh, come on.
And then it like took off like her bottom jaw kind of deal.
Oh, okay.
Just a shitty fucking movie.
Did Natasha die?
No.
Oh, okay.
In fact, she comes the incarnation
No!
of the incubus in the end. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
This is a terrible fucking movie that I'm trying not to be like, what the fuck you picked this movie for? Just
It's over the top cheesy for that kind of. I guess they tried to go for that 80s sense. where
they
showed a
did.
lot
I
of
feel
skin.
they were really shooting for that. It just was terrible.
Damn.
I mean, if you want a good example of that 80s vibe, watch The Void.
All right. So the next film, putting this up against, that's the gist of it. I mean,
That is the gist of it. I mean, just a sex romp with no skill.
yeah, some possession, but so that sale goes up. So the house goes up for sale again.
No. They
No?
still live in that house. And then, they're going to fuck. The ending scene ends on a fuck. So, I mean, if there's any consistency, it's the fucking.
Damn, really?
And then you see, it does like a freeze on her eyes, a la John Landis or Joe Dante's.
Oh, okay. All right. So the next film we saw,
The Devil's Candy.
Devil's Candy, and the only reason I wanted to watch this was because of Ethan Embry.
Me too.
Pretty much everyone else who wanted
Big
to
time
watch this
fan.
movie,
Yeah, I think so.
it's because of Ethan Embry sold this movie. It was all Ethan Embry, and of
Pretty
course,
much, but also Sherry Appleby is great in it too.
She is. She's great.
I'm a
She's-
fan of hers.
yeah, for sure. And the girl who played her daughter.
Yeah, she's
Their
good.
daughter.
She's Canadian. She was actually in Bitten.
Oh, okay. And Pruitt Taylor Vince.
He's very good too. If you remember him from Identity.
Yes, and pretty much same character almost. Just he's possessed.
He's let wild in this one, yeah.
But Ethan Embry and Vince are also Walking Dead alumni.
That's right. Was Ethan Embry in it? Oh,
He was in honestly just one episode,
oh,
and it was
okay.
just more of a supporting role for
when
that
they got to
particular episode.
Alexandria, he was in there, right? In Alexandria.
I don't know if-
5th, 6th season.
I don't remember, but he was only in one episode, but he dies, and so does Taylor Vince.
He was in a couple episodes.
Yeah,
though,
he was in a few.
second
Season 2. Yeah. He was part of the farm. He was part of
Shane sacrifices him so he can escape with the medical supplies.
and that's where we meet Maggie and her dad from that farm. We've grown to love them.
Well,
both.
yeah, he was part of that.
Yeah, he was part of
farm.
that
He was
crew.
part of
Yeah,
Herschel's
Herschel's
farm,
crew. Yes.
And he's the one who shot Shane.
Who? Oh yeah, but it wasn't like out of
Just on
Spite.
accident,
Yeah.
yeah. Because they didn't know who he was. And
Yeah.
Actually, Shane been shot quite a few times. I mean, not Shane, Coral.
Carl.
Yeah.
The son?
Yeah, Coral.
Coral.
Well, he says it like Coral.
Oh,
That's
okay.
how southern he is. Coral. Coral! But it's Carl.
Carl. Yeah. Okay. So Devil's Candy.
Yeah.
So we actually open up on it's some metal music.
Well, almost.
Yeah.
It's basically just
one chord?
The open chord of, I
Yeah.
want to say D.
Yeah, it's got to be minor because it's the Devil's chord, right?
No, but there's no fingering. He's just playing it open.
Oh, it's open.
Yeah. But yeah, you would think the minor because of Devil's Chord, but it just sounds like an open like D or
I think the
maybe
guy who
A.
yeah, this was it's like a metal music video,
Yeah.
and then so we open up on that and
But it is very instrumental, the metal music, to the character,
The
Ethan
character,
Embry's
yeah.
character and his relationship with his daughter.
Yes.
Like they're both metalheads,
so
and they're not evil.
So Taylor Vince is playing that open chord, and turns out he was hospitalized before.
Previously,
And he kills his mother.
I don't think that's the mother. I think that's the sister.
His sister.
Yeah, and then that guy who comes later at the end with the champagne, that
Yeah.
might be her husband.
Oh, okay. But yeah, why would he be coming in with champagne so late at night?
Yeah, I don't
That's
know.
like,
She says like, we gotta call Dad. You gotta go back to the hospital, and then he fucking murks her.
Yeah. And so next scene we're introduced to Ethan Embry's character,
Yeah.
who's a painter,
Yep.
and he's ripped in this one.
Yeah.
Ripped to the T.
He's pretty caught up in
Yeah.
this. Yeah. He actually dropped some size that he had before, but I feel he gained way more definition.
Yes. And he's a painter, and he's painting stuff that he doesn't want to paint. Commercial art for a
Some
bank.
kind of butterfly scenery mural
Yeah.
for a bank.
And looks like
And they're trying to buy a new house
Yeah.
for a bigger space for their family.
Yeah, and they make it work. So they move into this new house, which was Taylor Vince's previous house, and that's when the real estate agent's like, "I gotta tell you, by law,
This is
someone
Texas.
died." Yeah,
Realtors have Stetsons.
Yeah, like he's a cowboy. Like, what's Ethan Embry, metalhead, doing in Midwest?
Well, I feel like, they got a lot of metalheads there. Most of them is rednecks, but he's obviously not a redneck puke.
Yeah, and like the daughter's sporting like every band T-shirt.
Ever, yeah.
Like Motorhead, Slayer, and those Metallica.
Oh, Slayer's actually in the soundtrack, too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And, of course, it ends with Metallica.
For whom the bell tolls.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm glad they didn't include the lyrics, though, because nobody has done that song better than Zombieland.
Oh, okay, nice. So let's see. When does the possession start?
It starts to take hold when he gets inspired to draw that first painting of the little kid that's getting chopped up.
No, remember he did the cross first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought that was the same one.
So yeah, so he finds that dust print of the cross.
Of the cross.
But the cross, when Taylor Vince saw it, there's an inverted cross.
Well, he
And so-
knocks it over, yeah.
He knocks it over, yeah.
And then we see that
And-
same dust imprint
Yeah, of the upright cross.
of the upper cross.
But what he paints, Ethan Embry paints is a inverted cross, and
Right.
so we know he's like a struggling art. Like he wants to do his own kind of art, and he finally has
yeah,
a
but
muse.
he got yeah.
And so he plans to meet up with this art gallery owner.
From the gallery called Belial, which is another name for the devil, one of the 4 elemental names of Satan.
So he sends them a painting of that cross.
Picture of that
Yeah.
cross, yeah.
And,
that just his whole scheme that he's apparently given life to, and they like it for once.
Yeah. And
I like the paintings, but that's not something I could hang in my house as morbid as I am. Like,
Oh yeah,
I just couldn't pass that in the hall.
Right.
You know, to use the bathroom or get like a milk at night. Like, no.
And it turns out his second painting is of children, or it's of butterfly or the butterflies, right?
He starts turning them
Into little kids.
Yeah.
And
that little boy that gets thwacked. I thought they were gonna kill the dog, so I'm glad they killed the kid instead.
Oh right, yes.
He sneaks up on that kid on the swing. Yeah, I thought he was gonna get the dog in the forest, but the dog
Yeah,
was
so
the red herring to lure the boy away, the brother, so he could get to the girl.
Ray is his name, Taylor Vince.
I guess.
So he's picking off kids already.
Yeah.
And what he
Which
does
are
is
the devil's candy, apparently.
Yeah, he's feeding them to Satan.
By putting them in the ground, yeah.
First he knocks them out cold, then he cuts them
I
up
feel
into
like
pieces.
there could be a strong case made for mental illness in this one.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Even though that, on Embry's side, he manages to find where the kids are buried by some divine inspiration.
Yeah.
I still feel like
So
it's mostly
what he's
mental
doing,
illness.
Ray is doing is cutting these kids up into pieces and putting them in suitcases. And he's
burying
burying
them,
them
yeah.
in the same spot. So there's other kids in there, as we find out later.
Right, because when you buy a bag of candy, you want them all in the same place, not just one candy here, one candy there.
Yeah. And so we get the second painting. He sends that. And so while they're painting in this new town, or Ethan's painting in his new town, he kind of loses track because he's the one who has to pick up the daughter. She's been at school all day. It's nighttime. And that kind of breaks her trust with him.
Yeah.
And so he kind of promises.
Because the connection between dad and daughter is really strong. In fact, it seems like the mom is the odd man out.
Yeah.
She doesn't like metal music. She doesn't relate to the daughter the way that the father does.
Right. And we find that guitar and amp at the house.
Flying V, yeah.
Yeah. But it's the Ray's guitar.
It's Ray's,
the
yeah.
same one.
Blue, yeah.
Yeah. So he gives it to her. The dad didn't want to at first.
What I thought was funny is that she can't play guitar worth shit. Like, she already had a guitar in her room that they showed earlier, but she has not learned to play it.
Right. No one to show her yet.
Poser, yeah.
Well, she got to learn on her own, but that's
But
how.
she had already a guitar. You don't need. In fact, Flying V's suck. They are not good guitars.
They're for show.
They are for sure once you can play.
Oh, okay.
Like, don't pick that as your starter guitar.
Yeah, sure. So she gets that, and then Ethan Embry gets a new painting.
Mm-hmm.
He meets with the art gallery owner.
Yeah,
now.
looking like F. Murray Abraham. But yeah, it's not.
But that's not.
It's not.
That's not him.
No.
All right, but
Looking like what the bad guy Salieri, yeah, from Amadeus. Yeah, no.
He tries to get him. He's talking to Ethan. They want to drink and talk about the deal. And he's like, "No, I gotta go pick her up."
Yeah, and he's like very focused in that turnaround happened too quickly. There was such a nice, subtle, gradual build up to that, and then it just exploded at the end. He just makes his decision real quick.
Oh yeah, like there was no struggle.
Yeah, there was no
but
struggle.
I think we know why. We'll get to that point.
Yeah.
So,
but I feel like there's edited scenes, man.
He denies the art gallery owner, and he goes pick up the daughter, but he
That's
runs
more
into
important.
a flat tire.
Yeah.
And so now
That just seemed random, but I mean, I guess we can equate
Yeah.
that it happened because of
well, he was driving
the
recklessly.
whole thing. Well, yeah, he was speeding. But I feel
and-
like there was hidden meaning or like cinematic meaning
Yeah.
in that.
Oh, we gotta mention, did Ray, was he found in the bedroom already?
At that point, I think so. Yeah. I think so.
So, they have someone watching the house now.
He was, yeah, because at that point,
because
he kidnaps her.
he kidnaps her, yeah,
Yeah.
because the dad wasn't there to pick her up,
Right.
and so, she manages to escape though.
Pretty hardcore. Like I
Yeah.
like this little Canadian girl.
She unrolled herself from the tape and got out through the bathroom window real quickly before getting chopped up.
And made it to the sheriff's station, who were ultimately killed.
Yes, well,
Useless.
So the parents meet up, they go back home, and now they have two officers or sheriff deputies
Yeah.
watching the house. But Ray runs them over.
He does. We don't see what he did to put the mail on the floor, but
Yeah.
he smashes. He runs his car into the woman and pins her up against her car
Yeah.
and then smacks her with a rock and kills her.
Yeah.
She's useless. And then the male is just even as useless or more.
Yeah. But
And then he just starts firing up with
Yeah.
shots through the door and then he clips.
he got Ethan Embry through the chest.
But Ethan Embry does a good one. He sneaks into the other room, grabs the bat, crawls back under the door and
Yeah.
waits for him.
But then they
he
both
can't
get
the good hit.
yeah.
Yeah. And then he's still on it trying to escape. He gets shot through the
Yeah.
chest, which is probably not a kill shot, I guess, but it's certainly painful and it'll
Yeah.
stop you from moving.
It stopped him for a while.
Yeah.
And he bled out.
And then, they
little bit.
off-screen showed Shiri Appleby getting shot too, right?
Yes.
But apparently Ray, or whatever his name is, can't do a kill shot.
Yeah.
But I feel, too, that could be easily explained because he doesn't want to be doing this in his mind, whether this is illness or possession. This is not his plan. This is not what he wants to be doing.
Who, Ray?
Yeah.
Huh.
He is doing this just because his master demands or whatever, He doesn't want to be killing people and killing kids especially.
So he brought a tank of gas and a lighter. He's gonna burn the
Carriers,
house
yeah.
down. And this is where it turns into a metal music video in the bedroom. Fire in the fire pit.
They get in through,
Dun, 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 dun,
through
dun.
ladder from the outside.
Yeah. And so Ray burns alive because
Yeah.
Ethan Embry gets up there and they go at it like hand to hand. They fight.
Yeah. It's a good
And
show.
it's pretty while the fire is going on, and Ray burns up. He actually smashes Ray with the guitar.
Yeah. And he
His-
stabs him, with
Yeah.
the fretboard.
And so it's like, okay, Ray's gone now. So now we gotta escape this house.
Yeah.
And so they escape happily and safely.
Mm-hmm.
Like even with that wound, like it looks like a fatal wound, but he's still alive. But he mentions he has all these children in me that want to burst out, and we thought initially he was going to be the next one to be possessed,
Yeah, it
And-
felt that's where.
and he was going to
going,
kill
yeah.
everyone. But no, I think an angel, and I pointed out the upright dust print
Right.
of the cross.
He
So-
was being filled by a different power than we were led
Yes.
to believe.
Yeah.
Of world. These kids are, and it ends there.
Yeah. So it ends with he finds the rest of the kids' remains, and this darkness turns to white as Ethan Embry looks up.
Oh, I don't
Yeah.
recall that part. But
Yeah,
nice,
it turns white. Like it was a divine ending, not define, divine
Divine
ending.
ending.
So very angelic.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just a much better fucking film.
It's Ethan Embry, so it's always a good
I
film.
feel like it's, we did a disservice to the Black Room.
because you hated it so much.
It just is, it's not on par. You know what I mean? Like, but that's my fault. I didn't bother to come up with a suggestion or research into further who are we reversing versus who. But yeah, just Black Room to me.
So okay, let's
0.
tally up the points.
Yeah, let's list them
Okay,
out.
villain versus villain. So we have Taylor Vince Ray
A great actor.
versus
Random, not Herculean guy from the 90s. Yep.
yeah, or just the demon because he takes over a couple people, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean, we're looking at
Okay,
actor
that guy,
versus
yeah.
actor, that character. So Taylor Vince Pruitt,
He-
or whatever his name.
Okay, yeah, because he sold it as the creep.
He's just a way better actor.
An actor, yeah, definitely
So
identity.
one for Devil's Candy easily.
Okay, Final Girl, or
Which in this sense,
Final
the final
dude.
girl would be Ethan Embry
yes,
versus Natasha Henstridge. Ethan Embry,
because she's got the
more character.
and the 6-pack. Although
Okay, well,
Natasha was
for
looking
sexiness.
good.
Yeah. Well, you're judging him on sexiness. I'm just
Okay.
judging him on for, awesomeness within the context of the
Okay,
story.
okay.
And
Yes,
she
it was
just
definitely.
could have been there, could have been not, but he is an integral part of the story. So yeah, him.
2-0?
So for me, 2-0. Yeah.
Okay, 2-0. Okay, we got body count.
Oh, okay. Body count got it easily. Well, a body count that we see or body count that's inferred, because
Both seen and inferred.
I still got to give it to Black Room.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That one they took a lot of people on that
a lot
one.
of people died in that.
yeah.
Yeah,
A lot of groping.
yeah, bitch move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay, 2-1
2-1. Okay, so next one we're going with storyline.
storyline. Okay,
All right, so which one was scarier?
definitely Devil's Candy.
Devil's Candy, yes.
I don't find the Incubus story believable or scary at all. Because in the sense of you just can get raped, that happens anytime. There is a build in the devil's candy where someone you love and trust starts to change from you, while also there's this external force that is creeping in on you.
Yeah, and kind of the mislead too. We think he's changing for the bad, but no, he was actually changing for the better.
Yeah, there's a little muddled over there, but still much scarier and better. So yeah, 3-1.
3-1.
And the last
one being douchebaggery characters.
Pull me a douche from Devil's Candy though.
No one. Really, everyone was so serious in that one.
Like if I had to pick one, it'd be the
Black Room. There's a lot of
the Belial art dealer character.
Oh,
the
in
fake
that
F.
one,
Murray Abraham. Yeah.
Yes, I mean, yeah, that was kind of a random.
But still, there was so much douchiness going on in Black Room that I'd give it that. So okay, 3-2. I'm fine with that. As long as Devil's Candy wins, just it's a way better, a way scarier movie.
Yes. Shout out to Ethan Embry.
Yep. Getting swole, son.
Yes. So that is it for this episode. Copycat episode of Don't Go Down That Road.
Mockery.
Thank you, John and Rachel, for letting us steal your idea.
With John and Rachel.
And go watch The Devil's Candy.
Candy, definitely watch that.
Because it is a masterpiece.
Yeah. Well, it was almost. Like for horror, yeah.
Ethan Embry's abs are a masterpiece.
They really are, and that masterpiece.
Yeah.
Though. Yeah.
So until next time, hey Mox.
Yo.
Don't go down that road.
This is a Nekko Media podcast.